Good tactical morning. I am a floating headset with hands, and today marks the third week of Tactical Airsoft Training Simulator. So, what do I have for you here today? Well, the first thing you'll probably notice is you are viewing this scene from an entirely different perspective. You're viewing this from a scene camera that I have put in. To the player, it looks like a standard silver sphere just ominously floating around. Does not have any directional indicator. Unfortunately, I will be adding that later. I just added in this quick little camera because I was like, oh, this would be fun to do. Y'all can play around with that. And there is, of course, a toggle to turn this on and off, so you can flip between the player's first-person view and the camera's third-person view. Now, of course, you'll see this little headset model here. It's the standard Steam VR generic HMD model. And if I take my headset off, you see the model disappears and it just shows my shiny bald head. If I put it back on, the headset comes back on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the next thing and turn this off. Next thing you may have noticed is this vending machine here. Now, this is going to be used for spawning any item in TATS. This is obviously nowhere close to finished. This cannot hold very many items, and is also not very intuitive, but it is still possible to spawn items this way, and I'm going to be changing this up and using this to spawn in items and guns further in the future. For now, I'm going to go ahead and use this to showcase our new HI-CAPA magazine feature. So see here, I have this little wheel on the bottom, and I can insert this into a gun, and I can go ahead and just start winding up my HI-CAPA here. You hear the clicking sound does actually change tone once it's full. So now I can go ahead and start shooting. And I have disabled BB trails, because that was a development thing, and for some reason it was appearing in builds even though I was telling it not to. But I got that all fixed up, and it's working quite nicely. I can use these sights somewhat accurately. Oh, I'm empty. I just gotta wind this thing back up. There we go. And then if I click on the left side of the touchpad, you'll hear this little thud. That is a fire selector. Now I can fire full auto. And right now the HI-CAPA storage area is empty, so if I try winding, it's just going to keep making the same dull clicking noise. So that indicates your storage is empty, you have a couple of BBs left in your chamber. And as you can see now, I'm completely empty. I can't do anything with that. And I'll just go ahead and eject that and do... Yeah, there we go. This button on the side here is a golden magazine button, which I'll use to show off the new HI-CAPA extended magazine. So you push this button in and it turns yellow. That means it will spawn golden magazines. So you go over here, you spawn it, and then you go, what the frick? Dude, this is nowhere close to the color gold. Well, I am sorry. I am an idiot, and I don't know how to change a material properly on a magazine. Every time I do it, it just doesn't happen. Not doing runtime anyway. So I'm going to be looking into that this weekend and trying to fix that up. But it does have the same functionality as a golden magazine. So this thing holds 50 rounds for a little pistol. Absolutely outstanding. I love it. You can just keep firing. There we go. We're empty. I can eject the magazine, insert it back, lock the slide forward, and keep firing, just like usual. So, oh my. Next thing you may have noticed is, actually it was already fixed on there, you may have noticed that I have fixed the skeleton on here. This is all fixed for some reason, but on the Masada, if I pick this up, you can see my fingers are open again. Yay! But if I hold the grip button, I'm able to hold them closed. I can move my thumb around and move my pointer finger like usual. And I'm very happy about fixing that. It was a stupid little variable that I missed, and it was honestly a little funny. Right, one other thing I almost forgot. Previously, there was just a simple hover point that was like somewhere around here. I didn't even know it was just off to the side on the controller. So I have added functionality for multiple hover points on controllers. There's one going to be inside your hand and one on the tip of your controller. At least if you have Vive ones, I'm going to be seeing how it works on different controllers once I actually get them. But right now, it's pretty much a lot like H3. You can grab things with your hand like this and just like do that really satisfying chamber with a slide. Or if you want, you can grab it by the tip of your controller and do one of these, as if you're pinching the slide and pulling it back. So yeah, that's just a little minor detail that y'all might want to know. Next thing I've done is a little different. If you click up here on the menu button, you'll see this little menu come up on the back of your wrist. I have made this so that way you can rest your hand on top of rest your controller on top of your hand, and you can just click whatever button. This is just going to have one button for now, and it is to switch to a reaction test scene that I have set up. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and here we are. That is not supposed to be there. I don't know how that's loaded in, but it is. So I'll have to fix that. But you can see all of these targets just kind of pop up and lean over. This one's like moving back and forth, so that way you can aim at a running target. I may actually want to make that faster. But over here we go. It's having issues with that teleporting. I have the vending machine. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn me a couple of these guys. And, whoops, trying to not pick it up by the slide. Insert this, rack that, and shoot some targets. And this should be able to pop up again soon. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this is just like reacting to people leaning out or getting out of cover, so that way you can just easily shoot down anyone who tries to find out where you are or shoot at you. Now, of course, I will be making this a little different because normally there's going to be a gun in the way, and gun hits don't count at most fields. So this is definitely not final, especially since it's just the same thing over and over. I'm going to be trying to make this a little more modular. And also have like timed scoring, where it's like your accuracy and how long it takes for you to take down the targets depends on the score that you get. And you also may have noticed that the targets have a varying degree of like peeking their corners. So like there are 3 different modes for each type. So there's like standing, where he will like barely peek his head over, and then there's like where he's kind of peeking his entire head over, and then there's one where he's like just standing up, like, "Huh, what's going on, guys?" And then of course for peeking, it's like one of those professional speed softer kind of peaks where he's just kind of barely leaning out. All you can see is his barrel. And then there's like one, and it's like kind of like a little more casual, where he kind of leans out a little more. And then there's the one guy who has no idea what he's doing. He's just like, "What's going on, boys?" So yeah, that's all the scene really is. It's just kind of shooting as fast as you can, and obviously there's no scoring as of yet, but I will be adding that probably over the next week, or maybe even this weekend if I can. And yep, here we go. Oh yes, before I forget, I have fixed a very annoying issue that needed to be fixed for a while. If I set this to fully automatic with my broken touchpad, I am definitely getting banned from this field. But if I set this to fully automatic and drop it, previously when you picked it up, it would just start spraying BBs everywhere, and it would just discharge automatically. But now, if I pick it up with my trigger, it does not discharge until I release my trigger, and then it finally accepts input. And it was, for some stupid reason, a lot more complicated than it seems. You would think, yeah, just disable input until the player has released the trigger. But when you pick this thing up, the input for your trigger isn't sent through the first frame. It just says 0. So then it's just like, oh, he's not holding down the trigger. Let's shoot! Yeah, it was a little annoying. Oh, and of course, you can wind these up while they are not in your gun. It's just a little nice feature that you might want to know about. That is just all I have for you today. Next week, I'm going to be looking into fixing some of this stuff up, polishing it up, and also, next week, I'm going to be working on possibly a BB loading system where you have to load BBs into your magazines and all that good stuff. Adds a little more of the simulator-esque to the game, which is called a simulator. You know, that's how it goes. So, yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Hope you enjoyed, and happy shooting. Call your hit! Bro, I'm hitting it. Frick you!